Guys, I'm Evan Etzebeth, Springbok rugby player. You're watching Gareth Mason on Walking Tour with G-Man.
What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about the Rugby World Cup, the Springboks and the All Blacks, the greatest rivalry that we have seen. I mean, it really is in a special moment. People could write the Springboks off, but when they get to playing the All Blacks, they play the best rugby they've ever seen. Yes, there's been some times where they've destroyed us, but I'm telling you one thing, when we play the All Blacks, it brings the absolute best out of us, and we really see the camaraderie and respect between both nations when they hit the field, be it in the Rugby Championship, be it in the Rugby World Cup. Now, today marks a very special occasion. 24 years ago in 1995, South Africa beat the All Blacks in the Rugby World Cup Final, hosted for the first time ever in South Africa. We've just come back from all the drama with apartheid and all that stuff. Nelson Mandela believing in the Springboks, taking them to the very next level of going all the way by motivating this team, bringing a nation together in order to win the 1995 Rugby World Cup. And that just continued the history that the All Blacks in South Africa have. I mean, it's always passionate. I mean, there's always an electricity in the air when the All Blacks are in town, be it whatever province in South Africa. I've witnessed watching them once in Port Elizabeth, my hometown, and it was the best game I've ever watched on my entire life because of the electricity, the atmosphere. Not only that, you know, South Africa's got a lot of support for the All Blacks as well, so you get that, you feel that, so it's very intense, but it's electric, and it just excites me even more for this World Cup because we share a group with the All Blacks, and as terrifying as it sounds, you're sharing a group with the greatest rugby team in the world. It gives you that much more hope and positivity because you're getting to play the potential finalists, not potential, pretty much almost guaranteed finalists in this year's Rugby World Cup. You're playing the best, and in order to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And I'm a big believer in that saying because when you play the All Blacks, it just brings out a whole new level of intensity within a squad, within a team, within a nation even. And I think the fact that we get to play them in a group stage, I see it as an advantage because we've got that one big game. Look, I'm predicting All Blacks probably going to win that one, but I'm expecting intensity and closeness within that game. But what I hope, and I really hope and pray for this, for us as a South African, and I'm sure a lot of All Blacks fans could agree with me, is that they meet for the second time in the Rugby World Cup Final, which will bring back so much memories from 95. I mean, there's always been talks of it. I mean, John Alomu not being able to score against the Springboks, we marked that man like a machine. It also made us a little bit open for opportunities. You've got Andrew Mertens, who was on top form, kicking the ball. You've got Joris van der Westhuizen, one of the greatest scrum halves in the world. That one pass to Joel Scransley to get that perfect drop goal to win the game for the Springboks in the dying moments. I mean, truly amazing. I've watched that game a few times. I was only 4 years old when it happened, but it's definitely a defining moment that people in our country still talk about, and brings the power within the gees, excuse me, the gees within a nation, and it really is a special moment to this day. I mean, when South Africa play the All Blacks in Ellis Park, it brings back so many memories. We always reflect back in time on those times when how tough the situation South Africa was in, the hatred within our country, and the fact that this tournament really just changed us and uplifted us. And the reason also why I wanted to do this video is because it's not a happy time for South Africa. We've just been annihilated in the Cricket World Cup. No Super Rugby team has made the semi-finals, but there's still a lot of positives to think about because it's not the end of the world. We've got the greatest tournament right around the corner. We've got the Rugby Championship. We've got build-ups to that. So it's not the end of the world for South Africa. And you can't write the All Blacks off. In fact, there was a brilliant article in, I think, one of the New Zealand websites saying, look at the Springboks now as a bigger threat because now their whole team gets to go to the training camp while the Crusaders and the Hurricanes battle it out and bump it out in the semi-final. And South Africa can now bring the team together and start building the process for the Rugby Championship, for the Rugby World Cup, and start developing these procedures, because provincial's done. Now it's all focused on international series, which is the biggest thing now. It's developing and building the Springbok squad, and I think it's a great situation we're in. Yes, it's tough that the Sharks got kicked out and the Bulls got kicked out to the Hurricanes. It's just one of those things. We just got to move on and look at the positives, and that's why I go back to this amazing moment of 1995 World Cup. No one probably, I mean, we were losing to teams before the Rugby World Cup. We weren't in a great place, but then this team built themselves up. We nearly lost to France. I mean, come on, there were moments that were intense within that Rugby World Cup, but in that that shocking weather, South Africa pulled it through and went the way to that final, and made history. And I really believe it can happen again. You know, I was confident about the cricket. Okay, I'm completely wrong about that. But there's something different within the sport of rugby. There's something different within Springbok rugby and the players. It's just the passion, the love of the game, the pride of wearing the jersey. It brings out the absolute best in players. Players who you think might be not that great in provincial level, but once they put on the green and gold, they're an absolutely different player. And I mean, this doesn't go just for South Africa. This goes for all players around the world. I mean, you wear the All Black shirt, you wear the English, Irish, Scottish, Aussie, whoever. You wear that big jersey, the international, that marking your debut as a proud Springbok player or All Black or whatever it may be. That is a moment that you'll never forget in the game. That's why I love the sport so much, is because when you see the anthems or the haka, or whatever war cry it may be, you see the emotion within the player. You see the emotion within the team. And just as powerful as that haka is the response when the team lines up in a line and stares down the All Blacks on that haka. And that is powerful. South Africa in 95 charged the All Blacks on that haka. We've seen it with Victor Matfield and Bakkies Botha staring down the likes of Tano Umanga and all those greats of the All Blacks. There's history there, there's passion there, there's respect there, and there's a hell of a lot of quality rugby that we have witnessed in the past and that we're still going to witness in the future. It might be the end of the road in Super Rugby, but Rugby Championship is just getting started. Rugby World Cup is just around the corner, and to be honest, I would rather have the big dogs in our group so that we can meet them again in the final. If you remember, in 2015, South Africa met the All Blacks, and remember, we lost to Japan. People were writing us off, people were calling us names, people were mocking South Africa and the Springboks because we lost to Japan. When we meet the All Blacks in that semi or quarter final, I think it was, we just lost by a point. The game was intense, it was close, it wasn't a walkover, and it just once again proved that when you play in tough moments in finals or against magnificent rugby teams, it brings the absolute best out of you. Look at Ireland and England last year, 2018. England, I mean, to the 85th or 6th minute, it took that long for them to just unfortunately lost out in that game, and New Zealand had come back and had just taken over, and England lost the game. If we look at Ireland beating England, which was truly a remarkable moment for them, making history. South Africa beating New Zealand last year in the Rugby Championship in New Zealand for the first time in a while. History was made, and again I go back to it. It brings out the absolute best in you when you play a magnificent nation like the All Blacks, or a magnificent tournament like the Rugby World Cup, where teams like Japan, Scotland, Namibia, whoever it may be, you can never write them off. And don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing Scotland and Namibia. I'm just saying teams that you aren't expecting to win a World Cup, you can't count them out, because in that World Cup it brings out the best. Japan beating the Springboks is amazing. If you look at the Cricket World Cup, Bangladesh doing so damn well. I mean, it's the defining moment that can change a team, that can change a nation, and create hope where there once was only despair. It can change a continent. It can create something special that not many people will ever forget or ever remember. 24 years ago, we're still talking about it. We're still sharing that moment. We are still thinking about it and creating hope and possibilities in the growth. And it really is special. I mean, I get emotional every time I talk about it, but it's why sport is so important to me, why rugby is so important to me, why it gives me so much excitement, why to be able to do this as a side career, it is unbelievable. It's a dream come true. And so that motivation I want to bring into you guys, or just watch it, listeners or subscribers, to believe in your country to the best. I mean, if you support New Zealand, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England, New Zealand, Argentina, don't give up in the team. Don't let them. Don't throw hate when there are troubled times. That's when you believe in them. That's when you support them the most. Because I'm telling you, when they turn around, when the tables turn back, is the greatest feeling in the world. When South Africa beat New Zealand last year, it was an amazing, amazing feeling. When they beat them in South Africa the year before, amazing, amazing feeling. When we beat England, it was great. You enjoy it. And remember, in those times when I'm talking about when we beat, people were writing us off. People said South Africa had no chance to beat England last year. We had no chance. And we did it. We fought back. We made something happen which was special. And we silenced the critics. And I really hope we can do that again in 2019 Rugby World Cup. Yes, there are tough times. And the Super Rugby is dramatic. And Cricket World Cup's dramatic. But focus on this Rugby World Cup because it's going to be special. Whether South Africa wins it, whether the All Blacks win it, whether Ireland win it, whether England win it, or whoever may win it, maybe even Argentina. Enjoy the game and enjoy the moment, because even if South Africa don't go all the way, there's something about the Rugby World Cup or the teams in the Rugby World Cup. I am happy and ecstatic for any team. Just like the Six Nations. Ireland, big fans of them last year. Wales, when Wales won, so happy for them. I really was. New Zealand, I mean, I've got a lot of respect because a lot of my subscribers and you guys are from there. I think my first foreign overseas subscribers are actually from New Zealand. So I get attached to the teams because I get attached to you guys. And I love reading the comments. I might not respond often, but when I see them, it's amazing for me to know that I've reached so many people around the world, and that gets me excited even more to share this World Cup journey, which I've never done before. To share it like this with you guys is going to be absolutely amazing, and that's why it's going to be the greatest moment and the greatest World Cup. Like I said in this title, the greatest rivalry, but this World Cup is going to be the greatest moment for me, and I hope I can share it with you guys to really make this World Cup something special. So that's going to do it for today's video. I just wanted to touch on good moments and memories from the past of New Zealand and South Africa's rivalry, and also build up to this amazing Rugby World Cup that could happen. Could we do it? Could we see that dream final of South Africa versus New Zealand once again? Man, I hope so. But if not, I'll be watching whoever is in that final, because I'm telling you one thing, it's going to be the greatest World Cup final yet. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss another video. Turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any videos that always notify you. So make sure you are subscribed. Thanks so much for watching. Always appreciate the support. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.
Make sure you subscribe to his channel for all rugby content. Stay safe and never give up.